What I wanted to talk about today was something that's come up in a few calls that I've had the last little bit here. And I always feel like if more than one person is having a similar struggle that I like speak directly to, then there's probably way more people also having the same struggle. And what we were talking about a little bit was I bet it boils down to getting more new patients in the door. There are many, many strategies you can take when you want more new patients. And so I'll cover, those kind of in a big umbrella here quickly, but the foundation of it is always essentially the same. So if we want more new patients, meaning we need more new people coming through the door every single month or want than what we have right now, then we have to figure out how to get in front of the right people with the right message so that they then take the action that we want them to take. And there are so many ways you can get in front of people. So one way that you can increase new patient flow is through internal marketing, meaning things that you do within the practice currently for the people who are already seeing you so that they then help spread the word about you. So internal marketing can include things like asking people for reviews or asking people for referrals. It could be running contests. It ultimately usually is actually how you treat people. So I always say the best internal marketing machine that you can have is your new patient experience, meaning what happens for someone the first time they meet you, all the way through to the end of that very first appointment. If you exceed their expectations, they will tell other people about you. It's probably the most powerful internal marketing tool you have is impressing the socks off the people that you already see. So internal marketing is one piece, one way that you can increase new patients by leveraging the people that are already inside your practice. This is powerful because if someone has already met you and liked you, they're going to be a phenomenal seller of you to other people. So people that come through them are usually your best referrals because they already feel like they know, like, and trust you because someone else that they know already knows, likes, and trusts you. So it's probably like golden. Those are the best types of new patients that you can get are people that come from existing people. So internal marketing is one umbrella. Another umbrella is external marketing. So external marketing meaning, let's just talk about people who don't know you. So how do you get in front of people who don't know you? One way will be online. That's probably the most common way these days because most people do their searching for services online. So that could be they type into Google, dentist in their area and you pop up, meaning you pop up in Google search and then they land on your website. And if they like what they see, they do what you're asking. They call you, they click a button to book, whatever it is. So online is one place. In their mailbox is another place. So people do postcard campaigns or whatever. You send something out that someone that arrives at their house or in their mailbox, and then they see something, and if they like the messaging, then they call you or do whatever, bring the postcard and get a discount, whatever it is, whatever the thing is. You can get in front of people at community events. You could be at a fair or a show of some kind or a community event, or you could sponsor something, or you could host something in your parking lot. Who knows? You can get in front of people that way. So getting more new patients, like I said, is just about getting the right message in front of the right people so that they take the action. One thing I didn't talk about there that I probably should mention is like email, which to me is a little bit of an internal, it can be internal or external. So you can email people who already see you. That could be one way to get in their face and ask them to do something for you. Or you could collect email addresses through something external, like a lead magnet, and then you could email them to get your message to them. Anyway, digital space could be used either place, but there's so many ways you can do this. The part I want to cover today is the messaging part and the right person part. The problem with a lot of marketing initiatives, especially external marketing initiatives. So when we're trying to get in front of the masses in some way to get more new patients in, is that the messaging is far too generic. Meaning, if I said to someone, okay, you're a general dentist, who is your ideal patient? And a lot of people will say to me, oh, I don't know, that's so hard. Like, I love all kinds of dentistry. I like all the stuff I do. I like fillings, I like crowns, I like extractions, I like root canals. So it's hard then to say, okay, well, what's the message? And I'm going to give you the contrast of this. Let's say there's a general dentist who loves all aspects of general dentistry. And then there's a general dentist. Oh, my dog has joined us. And then there's a general dentist who really, really wants to focus just on root canals and TMJ, because I know a dentist who does that. So they have two areas of passion, and they really, really just want more people for that. They don't actually want people coming to see them for fillings. That's not what they do. Then the messaging that both of these practices would put out into the universe for more people to find them will be very different, but it still has to be specific enough, and we'll get there. The person who wants to do, I pointed this way, the person who wants to do just root canals and TMJ, they are going to define who their perfect root canal patient is. They're going to define who their perfect TMJ patient is. And then they are going to craft messaging that will speak directly to that person, meaning that person would read this message on their website header, on an ad, on anywhere, and would go, that sounds like the place for me. So let's say for root canals, they pride themselves, and their Google reviews say it, that they are phenomenal at dealing with people who are anxious, so calming people down, and being patient, taking their time with people. And people always say that they're so caring and friendly, right? So let's say they know all of that stuff. And so they really want people that care about the experience, who want a really great experience, or maybe they're just really nervous about getting a root canal. And so they want somewhere where they know they'll really be taken care of. Well, then they're going to craft their messaging around that so that it speaks to that person. They could have done messaging around being the fastest root canal in town, right? Maybe people want speed and they want to see people who want the fastest treatment they can possibly get. Or maybe they want to be the cheapest root canal in town. And so they put all their messaging around being the cheapest root canal that you can get in town. See what I mean? You get to decide, like, who do you want to find you and want to come to you, and then craft your messaging that way. For the general dentist who really wants to do all things, it isn't enough to just say, I'm a general dentist. And, have that on your website and talk about how you've been in the community for X number of years and have people get there and go, wow, that's the place for me. Unfortunately, it's just not compelling enough. And there's so much noise in our digital space that there has to be a message that is compelling. Meaning, if you're a family dentist who really loves all aspects of family dentistry and you want to attract more new patients to you, then you're going to have to figure out, what should I be saying to the general population that will attract the right piece of the general population to my practice? Okay? Because you're not going to talk to people who just want tooth whitening, maybe, if you're not targeting like professionals who really want cosmetic dentistry. You're not going to just talk about wisdom tooth extraction if that's not the thing that you want to do. You want them to know that you are the place for all of this general dental care. Well, then what you probably need to do is figure out what makes you awesome, what makes you great, what people talk about when they write reviews about you, and craft that messaging into something that can be in all of your spaces within your practice, on your website, externally, that you can shout from the rooftops to attract those people. And here's a great example. I was speaking to a dentist who I just love. She's lovely. And we were talking about her practice, and we were writing down characteristics, like all the things we could think of that people say is awesome about her practice. And one of the things she said was, we only do the dentistry you need. And she started by saying, well, I'm considered conservative, but I only do the dentistry people need. And I thought, well, what a great message. I said, so if you want to attract people to you who like the message, then I'd run with that message, because it's going to be different. It's going to differentiate you. It's going to make you special and different from the practice across the street, down the street, 2 miles away. And so if you want to attract that type of person to you, then you need to have a message that resonates with them. And so the other things people said about them, of course, were that they were kind and they were caring and it felt like family. People spent time with them. And so you take all of those things, and I use ChatGPT for this because I love AI for helping me with words. And you put in all of these words you can think of and all of these concepts and all of these ideas that make you you, that make you special, that make you unique. And then you try to come up with a statement that is ideally 2 sentences. You can have it be 3 or 4 if you need to initially. So maybe it's like a little paragraph. And then you use that messaging, and then you can break it down into one-liners. You can break, whatever you need to do for all of your places. And that's going to help you stand out. That's going to get more people to take action. So you have to get in front of the right people. How are you going to do that, right? If someone types in dentist, so if you're in Calgary like me, and someone types in dentist Calgary onto Google because they need a new family dentist, right? Or best dentist in Calgary, and they type that in, how are you going to make sure that you are one of the offices that show up, like in the top of the page? People, almost all clicks happen within the ads, the map pack, and the first 3 search results. So you have to show up somewhere in there for them to even have a chance to pick you, to put their hand up and pick you, or even click to see what you have to offer. So how are you going to do that? Well, that's search engine optimization. We're not going to go into that today because this would be a very long video if I went into that. But that's meaning that the stuff you have on the digital space triggers Google to know that that is what you are and that you're reputable and an expert and whatever, and then we'll show it to them. So search engine optimization, huge part of getting new patients, by the way. How else can you get in front of people? Paid ads, organic social media, right? There are lots of ways that people could come across you, that you could be searchable, that you could be found in the digital space, right? So you have to figure out, how do I get in front of the right people? And then how do I get the right message in front of them? Well, we just talked about how you can craft your messaging. So how do you get that message in front of them? Either in an ad with a photo or a video and a caption, right? You could have them click on something that takes them to your website. I highly recommend you do that first. And so your website, the header is the most important part, the top third. And so when they click on your website, the thing that should load right away should be that message. Something that tells them that, this is the place that you are so that they know and they're grabbed by that message and then they want to take some action. Because what happens often is someone will pull up, Dentist Calgary and a list will come up and they'll click on the first one and it'll go to the page and they'll scroll quick and if nothing catches their eye, they'll back and then they'll go to the next one and then they'll do the next one and then they'll decide, which of those three is the one that they're going to reach out to. You have to have something there that grabs them, that makes them want to take action. And people care very much about themselves and the benefits that they are going to get by coming to see you. They don't care so much about your technical skill or how many courses you've taken or even how many years you've been a dentist for the most part. And I mean, I wish they did, but they really don't. People care about what's in it for them. They want to find things that take them towards pleasure or away from pain. They want things that are the things they want. And so your messaging has to speak to them on this emotional level and not just the logical level of I'm a dentist and I do all these things. And so this is, like I said, super critical for external marketing, but it's also very helpful for within your practice. So once you craft your little message and you know how you're going to speak to people who land on your website or for ads you put up or for anything, social media, anything you do like on the digital space, everyone in your practice should know what this message is because of course it should like ring true. You can't have a message that isn't true. So you can't say that you offer, dental care in a caring, compassionate setting where we treat you like family and then treat people like crap when they come to see you because you'll get a lot of bad reviews if you do that. So of course the messaging has to be true and you should be really proud of that messaging and proud of the things that people say about you. That's awesome. And so you relay this to your team, you come up with what these, phrases or messages are, and then you make sure, when someone calls on the phone, right? You're basically a receptionist or your gatekeepers. They're the ones that, if you have external efforts happening and people need to call in to book an appointment, they're the ones that are making or breaking you here. So they got to be amazing on the phone, but they should also know this messaging so that they can say to someone, maybe who saw your message or didn't, and say like, oh my gosh, you're going to love Dr. Smith so much. She is known for being caring and compassionate and taking her time to educate people. I just can't wait till you meet her. Right. So the messaging that goes external is also going to be messaging that comes internal. It should be something that anyone on your team could like regurgitate and say, this is what we're known for. This is what we're great at. And this is how you set the foundation for increasing your new patient flow and for it to be the people that you actually want to be seeing. The last thing you want to do is, put out some kind of marketing campaign, especially one that's stupid expensive, and have no defined target audience and no defined messaging, and end up getting a whole bunch of people that you would rather not be seeing. Because we all know how miserable a day can be when we're seeing people that are not people we want to be seeing. And so we don't want to go there. What we want to do is decide, who do we want more of, right? And if you want more of everything because you love all things, then your messaging has to be around what they will experience when they come see you, so you attract the people who are looking for that experience, right? You can either target people based on their needs, or you can target them based on the experience that it is that you can offer to them that they also want. You'll see there's a dental office in Calgary here that does a great job of marketing themselves as luxury dentistry. And their ads are fantastic. They have, little video clips of, people sitting in a really nice dental chair with like sunlight coming in and they're putting noise canceling headphones on and pulling a blanket up. It just looks so peaceful, kind of like a spa. They have figured out the experience that they are trying to show to the people that they're trying to attract. For people who want cheap dentistry, they ain't going there because they know those noise canceling headphones cost something. The electric toothbrush the patient is getting costs something. They know, people see that and know it's going to be a pricier place to go. But for people who are looking for that experience, who are looking for luxury, it's the perfect message. It's some of the best marketing I've seen. And so what you need to do is figure out, who do I want more of? How do I get a message to them that makes them magnetize, attract to me when they see that message? And then how do I get that message in front of them, right? Do I need to work on my SEO? Do I need to improve my website? Do I need to do paid ads? Do I need to do more social media? Do I need to do a community event? Do I want to send out postcards? Do I want to start email marketing? Do I want to set up a sales funnel? I mean, there's a million places you can go, and it's actually unimportant right now. If you haven't done the first part, which means the who and the message and the how you're going to get in front of them, the rest of it's kind of irrelevant. So start with, who do I want more of? And what type of messaging can I put out that will attract them to me? And when I talk about this, I use the word differentiation often because this helps make you different from other practices so that people can't compare you like apples to apples. That's not great. But differentiation doesn't mean you have to do anything crazy or weird. People ask me about that all the time. You don't have to do anything crazy or weird. You just have to be really good at articulating what you are really good at or what you do really want more of. So it's just about crafting the words and the message. There are lots of dental practices with women as their dentists, I promise, that are known for being kind, compassionate, caring, sometimes fun, super educational. Like all of these words I'm throwing around, that's not unique in that there's only one practice in the city or the area that has that. It's just that a lot of offices aren't shouting that from the rooftops. They're not centering their messaging around that. And those types of things do attract people to you. Not most. A lot of people tell me that a lot of their marketing is around things like discounts and coupons because they think the only way to grab people's attention or get them to come is to offer them some kind of deal. And I'll say I've never done that as a marketing tactic. And I know you guys all know that my practices are very successful. You don't have to, you can if you want. There's nothing wrong with it. If you want price to be the thing you market on, if you're trying to attract people who want a certain price point, by all means do that. But if that is not something that rings true for you, like it doesn't for me, then you don't have to market that way. You can find your people through the correct messaging. And that's the takeaway from today. More new patients. We all want more new patients. I think most of the time. There's rarely a practice that's like, I don't want any more new patients ever again. Like, I just can't take it. Because even if right now you're slammed, and yay, if you are, like, I thought, if you're slammed right now and you don't need more patients, that's great. But there will almost always come a time in your practice at some point where the up levels or goes to a down. And you'll go, I think we need more new patients. So this part becomes important when that's the case. It could be at any time. It could be all the time. It could be some of the time. It could be almost never, but it's an important piece. So I'm going to leave you with that. If you have questions about it, you want to talk about it some more, then shoot me a message, leave a comment down below. And next week I will have a new video for you. Not sure about what, but I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.